Welcome to another edition of Maximum Life with yours truly, Michael Norman. There are some things that's more dangerous. There are things in life that are more dangerous than failure. There's other things that are more dangerous than the lack of money. And then there are some things in life that are even more dangerous than opposition, those that work against you. That thing is self-sabotage. We're going to talk about it today on Maximum Life. Let's get started. All right. As I said in the opening, the single most dangerous thing to your dreams, your destiny, is not necessarily those that are outside of you opposing you. It's the things that are inside of you that opposes you. There's a saying in the scripture that says, as a man thinketh in his heart, in his mind, so is he. So oftentimes the things that we're challenged with are not the things that people present to us. And it's not the opposition that comes from, co-workers, family members, coaches, etc., etc. It's the things that comes from within us. Oftentimes we're not dealing and confronting the inequities, our own sense of or the lack thereof of self-worth and value, or our own potential. So today, what I want to deal with in this particular broadcast, I want to speak directly to self-sabotage, the things that are working against us that's actually inside of us. Can you imagine that? Your own worst enemy being you, yourself. So let's look at this. 3 things I want to share with you. And of course, you're welcome to take notes, get your pad, pencil, whatever you need to take notes, because I'm going to share these 3 things with you. Let me explain what self-sabotage means. Maybe I should start there. Here's what I wrote down. It's when the very person called to carry the dream quietly undermines it. Self-sabotage is when the person called to carry the dream quietly undermines it. There are things that you're doing and could be doing that are working in direct opposition to the things that you're trying to accomplish in our lives. So here's the thing that I've come to realize, as I said earlier, as a man thinketh in his heart, that's really what he becomes, because you can never become what you're not. And I say it all the time that you must first be before you become. You must first be what you desire to become. Even before you materialize, before it shows up in the material world, the physical world, it must first show up in you. Don't try to convince people of your worth and your value if you don't believe in your own self-worth and your own value. It's called the imposter syndrome. There's people, we don't think that we're qualified. We don't think that we have enough credentials, whatever. Yeah, there's a myriad of things that we could say against ourselves, because nobody knows why you should be disqualified more than you. Let's be honest. Many people can try to criticize and ridicule what you're attempting to do in your enterprise and the things that you're doing. But at the end of the day, the one person that knows all of the reasons why you shouldn't succeed in life is you. Because you know where all the bones are. You know what's in. You got the keys to the closet. So you know all of the things, the hidden secrets and things of that nature. And oftentimes it's those very things that we've tucked away that creeps into our mind, into our mindsets, into our disposition, into our paradigm that creates a sense of unworthiness. See, when you dream, whatever your dreams, your aspirations may be, they need to be so gigantic that you're going to need literally a move of a God to make it happen. You're going to need divine intervention to bring it to pass. That's when you're dreaming, because it's going to pull on aspects of you that you have yet to be introduced to. Have you ever noticed that when you're going through your greatest challenge, that's when your greatest aspects of you show up? Things about you you didn't even know you had, strength that you didn't know you possessed until you had to go through that most difficult period of time in your life. And that's one of the reasons why I'm a strong believer in times of suffering, not suffering all of the time, but realizing some of my greatest creativity came in times of challenges, times of suffering, times of lack. Some of the greatest inventions in the world has come on the heels of lack and suffering. So there's an argument to be made for the value of struggle and challenges. But I wrote down three things. I'm going to share them with you. And I trust that they will be something that will reverberate in your mind as you go throughout your day. If you're an entrepreneur, by the way, if you're an entrepreneur or entrepreneur in spirit, let me encourage you once again to make sure that you go down in the description. I put a link there. It's at michaelnorman.net. It's for entrepreneurs, for those who want to be able to become the master of their own financial destiny. Those who want to take vacations to wherever you want to go, to be able to stay as long as you want to stay and spend as much as you want to spend without anyone telling you that you can't go on vacation, or you can't spend this kind of money, or you can't save for your children's education. All of that and a whole lot more, I can help you through I call it the Digital CEO course. I'm going to show you how to set it up. It's going to be relatively inexpensive compared to what it costs to start a brick and mortar. Thousands and thousands of dollars to start a brick and mortar business, when in the digital world, you can start right now and start making money even right now. For more information and set up a time, I want to consult with you, as I've done with people all across the nation and around the world. I'm going to help you establish your own digital business. Go to michaelnorman.net, set up a time where we can consult on it. Okay, number one. 3 things that sabotages your dreams. Number 1, unresolved identity. And I said this at the onset here. If you're not clear on who you are, you'll never be clear on who you can become. So it has to be settled in your mind right here, right now. I am this person. As a matter of fact, that I am, those 2 words have supernatural implications, because those are the same 2 words that God used to tell Moses, hey, when you go to Pharaoh and he asks who sent you, just say, I am. I am. Well, what it really means is I am whatever I need to be at any given point in time in my journey. So I am strong. I am powerful. I am blessed. I am happy. I do have joy. It's the I am principle. Whatever you add to I am will be added unto you. That's how it goes. So it literally opens the door to whatever it is you desire. I am a millionaire. I am healed. I am happy. I am full of joy. I am blessed. Because what you add to I am will be added unto you. That's the I am principle, but I digress. It's because if we don't identify who we are, you cannot outperform who you believe you are. If you don't believe that you're blessed, then you can't perform to the level that you become blessed. If you're not convinced that you deserve happiness, you deserve peace, you deserve joy, gladness, and all of that, all the good things in life, until you are convinced of that, you'll never perform to the level that allows you to obtain those things. Okay? So you cannot outperform who you believe you are. Many people have a dream that's bigger than their identity. So what happens is this: they shrink the dream down to the size of their self-image. This is why I said earlier, if you're going to dream, God is giving you a fully blank check. The complete universe is at your disposal. But you have the option to shrink your dreams down to your identity. My challenge to you today is to dream massive, expansive, to the extent that it requires a literal move of God. It requires divine intervention. Never shrink your dreams down. Elevate your self-worth so that you won't self-sabotage. If you always feel like you're the one who never finishes. I'm a great starter, but remember, I am principal, okay? If you're saying I'm a great starter, but not a great finisher, or I'm one who came from nothing, but you rehearse the fact that you came from nothing, and that's your predominant testimony, that's your predominant perspective on life. I came from nothing. And basically you're rehearsing and reinforcing the idea that you came from nothing. Why rehearse where you came from as opposed to rehearsing where you're going to? So unwittingly, by talking and rehearsing our negative and our debilitating past, or our nothing past, we are literally empowering it to impact our present and our future. So instead of rehearsing the past, let's reverse the past. Okay? So, because if you don't, again, you're talking about self-sabotaging your own dream. Let's see. Let me get, maybe then, but here's one more. Then the one who says, I'm always struggling. I'm always on the struggle bus. I'm always trying to get ahead. Every time I spend a nickel, I got to spend a dime. Look like I don't have bus fare to the welfare. If that's constantly your testimony, you are literally self-sabotaging. And it is not those people who are without that is the problem. Now, I'm not saying this to criticize or judge you. Maybe what's happening is I'm giving you another set of eyes to see perhaps what you didn't see before, so that when you come into the recognition of, you know what, I've been saying those things. I never finish. I'm a good starter, but I'm not a good finisher, or I come from nothing, or I'm always struggling. When you come into the realization of what it is you've been saying, what you've been declaring over your own life, then that becomes the impetus to help you change and transform it, so you don't, once again, rehearse the past, but reverse the past. All right, that's number one. Unresolved identity. You must come into realization of who you actually are and be comfortable with it, because as quiet as it's kept, there are not very many people that may be in your life that are not excited about your future. And the old saying, misery loves company. There are people who would love to see you fail just because it makes them feel more justified for not doing anything with their lives. So be careful of that. Number two. So there's the second thing that self-sabotage: emotional attachment to comfort. We are emotionally attached to when you become emotionally attached to being comfortable, it is self-sabotage, because even your own body works against you. And what do I mean by that? Well, when you are comfortable, when you're experiencing something that's pleasurable, your brain is releasing endorphins. It's a chemical in the brain that's released when you're enjoying something that's enjoyable. That's why those who are hooked on difficult to kick the habit, because it's not necessarily the drugs themselves, it's the chemicals in the brain that's released as a result. As a matter of fact, the drugs themselves are designed to attach itself to those endorphins and serotonins. So it's not, it's, yes, you, at the end of the day, your ability for your own actions. But the truth of the matter is that there is a chemical warfare that is taking place in your own body that will work against you. And as such, comfort can be just as addictive as any other drugs. Being comfortable can be just as debilitating or destabilizing as any other drugs because we are emotionally attached to how wonderful being comfortable feels. So here's the thing. Growth requires discomfort. Real growth requires discomfort. That means that you have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable because there's nothing that's going to grow without challenges. There's nothing that's going to grow without resistance. If you go into the gym right now and you say you want to develop six packs, well, the way you develop a six pack is by submitting yourself to a season of discomfort. The discomfort of doing sit-ups, pull-ups, knee lifts, leg lifts, all of the planks and all of the exercises that are designed to build your muscles in your core and create those six packs, that six pack that we all want. But again, the only way you get those is by submitting to a season of discomfort. So as oxymoronic as it might seem, discomfort is a key to the next level of your life. You would think discomfort is designed to oppose you and stop you, but the reverse is actually true. And that's why many people do give up. That's when many people do throw in the towel because they think that because I'm going through a season of challenge, a season of discomfort, that this must not be the thing. This must not be the thing I'm supposed to be doing. Because if it was what I'm supposed to be doing, then it would be a lot more comfortable. I would have a lot better time doing it. I would enjoy it more, when in fact, the opposite is actually true. There's a scripture that says that weeping may endure for a night season, but joy comes in the morning. What does that mean? It means that your greatest level of growth doesn't happen in sunlight. Your greatest level of growth happens in darkness. You've got to be willing to endure the dark seasons. When you go into that gym, you've got to be willing to endure the dark season of starting with weights and struggling and maybe getting on the treadmill and it's elevating your heart rate and you're getting tired and frustrated and all of that. But if you endure, eventually, what you challenge to you is no longer a challenge. And then that's when you have to elevate again. Because if you want to get to the next level, again, you must submit yourself to a season of discomfort. So growth requires discomfort. Put that in the chat. The whole concept of I'll start tomorrow or, let me take some time off, that's procrastination. Procrastination is a thief. Let me put it more succinctly. Procrastination is the thief of your destiny. You will never achieve your destiny by procrastinating. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it when I feel better. I'll get to it later. As long as you're doing that, you will never inherit your destiny. So comfort is not evil, it's just seductive. I'm not saying that you should never have a season of comfort, but recognize that comfort has a way of drawing us in, and it's subtle. If I sit here long enough till the point I get comfortable, I'm more likely not to get up. I'm less likely to get up. If I get in one of my comfy couches and I sit there for a period of time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long it takes, if I sit there long enough, the longer I sit there, the less likely I'm going to get up from the couch. So again, you have to be willing to experience discomfort, because comfort is not evil, it's just seductive, okay? Most dreams don't die from attack, they die from delay. Most dreams don't die from attack, they die from delay. What are you supposed to be doing right now? What should you have accomplished by this time in your life? What's taking so long? What's the holdup? There's nothing that can stop you. You can give a lot of excuses. Well, this is happening. I got children. I got a house. I got a husband, a wife. I got a job. I got all of these responsibilities. But at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to have to pull the trigger on getting started. Procrastination is the thief of destiny. All right, let's go to number 3 because I'm out of time. Number 3, the third thing that self-sabotages your dream is really kind of a strange one, because the third thing is fear of responsibility that comes with the next level. The fear of responsibility that comes with the next level. Because again, this kind of ties in with what we were talking about in number 2, that we get addicted to comfort. Most people don't want promotions on the job because they don't want what comes with the promotion. They want the money. Oh yeah, promote, give me more money. But I don't want to have more responsibilities. The old saying is true that a rising tide lifts all ships, no matter what size they are. So if you're going to rise up, everything is going to rise up with you. Say, for instance, you were living in a 1-bedroom apartment, but now you've been promoted on your job that allows you and affords you the opportunity to get your 4-bedroom home. So you go from 1-bedroom apartment to a 4-bedroom home. Now that's a blessing, right? But then what you don't realize is that you just quadrupled your responsibilities that you had when you only had the 1-bedroom. Actually tripled. So you're going from 1 bedroom to a 4-bedroom. So now instead of cleaning 1 bedroom, now you got to clean 4 bedrooms, right? And instead of cleaning 1 bathroom, now you got to clean 3 bathrooms. You got a bigger kitchen. You've got a garage. How about this? You didn't have to worry about cutting the lawn. You didn't have to worry about landscape. But because now you've got your own 4-bedroom home, now you've got to concern yourself with landscape. So now that's another expense. So a rising tide lifts everything with it. So when you're promoted, everything comes with the promotion. More responsibility, more oversight, more money. But then at that higher level comes more responsibility, and oftentimes what comes with responsibility is more visibility. And some people like being the center of attraction or center of attention, but they don't realize that when you become more visible, you're more scrutinized. A lot of celebrities would love to have celebrity without popularity, to the extent that they can go out to eat without being bothered about, signing autographs, or they can just live a regular, normal life. Not possible, because with that celebrity comes popularity. And with that popularity comes fans, fanatics. They don't care that you're sitting there, you're trying to enjoy your lunch or enjoy dinner with your significant other or whatever. Excuse me, I know you're busy. They even admit it, right? I know you're busy, but can I get your autograph, please? I'm a fan. It comes with the territory. So you can't have celebrity without popularity. How about more influence means more accountability? People don't want to be accountable. They want more, but they don't want the more accountability that comes with having more. It's a big challenge, right? One more here. More income means more stewardship. When you had less money, you didn't have to do a whole lot of management. Now, when you come into more money, the idea is that oftentimes we just spend more money, not realizing it's probably a good idea to keep your budget as close as to what it was when you were in your one-bedroom apartment. Now, realizing you got more room, you're going to pay more in your mortgage, but you're making more, and as such, you have potential to have more resource. You have more income to put away, to invest, to make smart money moves. Speaking of smart money moves, I didn't intend to say this today, but I want to invite you to go to my other website. It's called newpowergenerations.us. Newpowergeneration.us. Newpowergeneration.us. That's our financial education. That's where we teach you about how to manage money. It's not a sales, it's not a time to try to convince you to buy anything. What I'm showing you there, we've got videos, we've got all kinds of programs, we've got applications to help you identify your own financial ID. That's newpowergeneration.us. Just thought about that because, again, when you get more money, you've got to have more understanding about how to manage the more. Because if you're not careful, you'll get more money, but you didn't elevate your mind concerning money. And as such, you're still operating at the next level from a lower level mindset. And so you'll see the money as an opportunity for you to just throw it away on shoes and suits and things, and not consider you got a child that needs funding for college. You got to build an estate. You got to try to change your financial destiny. That doesn't happen by osmosis. So again, some people can't elevate because of the fear of the responsibility that comes with the next level. That's self-sabotaging. So I gave you 3. Let me just review, and then I'm going to let you go. Okay. So number 1, 3 things that self-sabotage your dreams. Unresolved identity. Number 2, emotional attachment to comfort. That's a big one. Excuse me. And then number 3 is the fear of responsibility that comes with promotion. We understand those 3 points. You're on your way to living a fulfilled life, filled with blessing, increase, and more importantly, the knowledge of how to manage the growth, the increase, the expansion. Because again, as they say, more money, more problems, more money challenges. All those things come. Increase doesn't come along. It brings a whole lot of other things with it. Okay. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for I Trust You've heard something that will encourage you, help you to recognize perhaps, those are one of those 3 things, or all 3 of those things is what's been holding me back. I thought it was something outside of me. Now I realize it's something within me. Oh my goodness. I'm clutching the pearls. It's me. So if I elevate me, if I take me mentally, spiritually, physically, if I take all of me to the next level, then I'm prepared to handle the increase that comes with it. Okay? All right. So once again, I want to invite you to go to my website, michaelnorman.net. michaelnorman.net is where we're going to teach you how to earn 6-figure income part-time. I know it sounds incredible, but check us out. Go to my website at michaelnorman.net. I'm going to help you earn the sort of income that helps you to take the vacations you want to take, when you want to take them, and to where you want to take them. Also, what about preparing for your children's education? Maybe, or building a financial nest egg that will help change the very financial trajectory of your generation. So we're talking about coming into generational wealth. All that and more on my website at michaelnorman.net. Go there right now. Set up a time for our one-on-one, and I'll show you exactly how you can start your own digital business with very minimal upstart money. Very minuscule when it's compared to a regular brick and mortar business. I promise you, less headaches, less challenges, less politics, all of that. That's what you're going to avoid when you start a digital business. I'll show you exactly how to do it. Go to michaelnorman.net. And then, of course, check out our financial literacy and education website. It's called New Power Generation. Yes, just like Prince. New Power Generation.us. Check out all of the information there. And of course, you can always call me with any questions you may have. My information is in the description. Okay. Until our next time, I want to do me a favor. Would you please make sure that you share this broadcast with your friends and loved ones, and make sure you click the like button. And if you have not subscribed, help us grow the channel. We want to get up to at least 1,000 to maybe 500,000. Who knows? Maybe even 1 million subscribers. We can do it with your help. Tell everyone you know. Check us out right here at Maximum Life with yours truly, Michael Norman. Check us out. Every Monday, we're going to be dropping new videos, so make sure you stay in tune. Click the notification button while you're at it, okay? Until next time, may God's best be yours.